with healthcare, you know. So I just want to encourage you to do this, and I wish you all the best as you move on. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Wow, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, TJ Sunimi, I'm done. Okay, so maybe while we wait for TJ, so if you have a question, maybe as regards to media and healthcare or my work or something, please feel free to ask. You can raise up your hand. I think that's possible. Is it possible to raise up hands? Ah, or you can just drop a comment. Yes, drop a comment that you have a question that you can unmute and ask. But don't unmute until your name is called, please, so that you can moderate very well. Thank you, bro, Gabriel. If you have a question, okay, Tobechuku, you have a question, please go ahead.
Okay, Lekon, thank you very much for this wonderful lecture you just gave us. Now, I hope you can hear
Yes,
me.
boss. Yes, boss. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, I beg, I know you boss.
Don't
So,
worry.
okay, I have a question. So
Okay.
my request is if you can kindly share your LinkedIn handle so that we can
Okay.
also, follow your work online. And then the question I have is, so I want you to like throw more light on, like when you are like you are in the media now, and the media aspect of biomedical science or health in general is
Yeah.
kind of is I want to use the word unique, because it's hard for people to see that those kind of opportunities. So now how, in a very practical way, so now how do you blend um your field now with those areas that are like like very hard to, those hard to find specialties like media now? And I saw that you mentioned something like UX and UI design. So now
Yeah.
how do you incorporate UX and UI design now with something like the health sector and all that?
All right. So
Um,
UI, UX, and then your first question was that I should be practical about something.
Yeah, it's practical about blending health, like biomedical science, with these unique fields now, like media. How do you blend
Okay.
the both of them in a
Yeah. Give me a second, please.
practical way, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be very practical. Don't worry. I can be practical. I'll try my best. All right. Thank you so much, Tobe. If you have a question, you can just link it. You can just drop a comment. But while we are waiting, let me answer Tobe. Okay. Thank you very much, Tobe. So let me start from blending media skills with biomedical science. Let me just be very practical. Imagine that there's a company. Do you understand? There's a company that is a. Please drop your hand, Tobe. You can drop your hand. Imagine that there's a company, right? And they are, let's say they are into research, biomedical research. They are trying to find out the cure to this to HIV/AIDS. Let's just use that as an example. Do you understand? And so you as a media person or as a communications person, what's your role or what would you do? How do you do that? This is what it means. It means that let's assume that you even want to get into their industry first of all. So you read up about what they do, you find out what they do, and then you do a story, for example. So you go and write a story, and then you say, Dr. Tobe, is working on is working on ending the NTDs, or is working on ending HIV/AIDS in Nigeria. Then you do a beautiful story about it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then you push that out. That's a creative way to communicate what they are doing. Now, also, it means that you break down what they are doing. You understand the jargons of the industry. Maybe they tell you that the mRNA viral, mRNA or the DNA coding, whatever, all of those things. You break it down as a communications person so that somebody in primary school will be able to read it and understand. By the time you do that and you put it on your LinkedIn and you say, this is my version, of how or of the great work that is being done at NAGBAMS or at Siemens Bath Research, to end HIV/AIDS. Do you understand? Then you put it on LinkedIn. I tell you, people will see it and they'll be like, wow, okay, now I understand. So every organization needs someone that can tell their story like this. Do you understand now? Or let me give you another example. So your organization, so this research company, they are doing so well in biomedical research company, or just a pharmaceutical or anybody really, they are doing some stuff and they need somebody that can tell their story. They need the world to know what they are doing. One of the challenges of our healthcare science field is that it's very coded. Like, everything's like inside, like nobody knows who is doing what, you know. So, but if you are hired and then you have this opportunity, or you just even want to you want to get a foot into the organization, so you go ahead and see what they're doing, and then you use like storytelling skills um like um like these whiteboard animations, to talk about how bad this menace is and what they are doing will help to end that problem. I want to believe that whiteboard animation, or you can check it up on Google if you don't know about it. And so you use whiteboard animation to now explain that, okay, say they're trying to end COVID-19 and you want to explain what COVID-19 means to the layman, because your job as a communications person, as a media person, is to tell your stories in ways that everybody can understand. So what would you do? You take whiteboard animation and you say, this is Carol. Carol has not been able to breathe well. Carol thinks that maybe it's her village people. But then, boom, Carol meets Tobe, and Tobe tells Carol that it's possible that this thing is COVID-19. Carol does not believe. Therefore, Tobe takes Carol to the hospital. Do you understand? Or Tobe takes Carol to the diagnostic center. Do you understand? That is communications. That is breaking it down for you. So you do this beautiful story with whiteboard and animation and send it to any organization saying, this is your work and this is what I do. I'll be happy to work with you to let you see how better you can communicate the value of your work. I tell you, even if they don't hire you, they will not say that they did not see what you have done. Does it make sense to you? I don't know if I'm making sense to you today or anybody.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely, sir.
Yeah. So that, for example, is how to be very practical with what you do in communication. So it means that communications and media and communications and storytelling and all of this really is just how you can look at what is done in biomedical sciences or what is done in healthcare, and use that, add some sprinkle of your creativity to it, and then you can tell that story beautifully because you are already a scientist. And you're just a scientist who is communicating what is done in the science field with your creativity. So, for example, let me give you an example. One day, and I'm going to talk about this for the UI UX parts now, right? I hope I'm not taking too much of my time. Please let me know when my time is up so that I don't just continue talking. There are other people that have to talk.
Okay,
One
for me,
day,
I think you are doing well. I don't I'm not the moderator, sir.
yeah, okay. So one day, I I went to Enugu for to work with someone. When I go back to my office, and my office is like a co-working space. Like I do my health work. There's an NGO too in the building, And then I saw everybody in the NGO, saying, "Oh, we need to prepare for that conference with Microsoft. We need to prepare for the conference with Microsoft." So I was like, guys, have fun. Which conference is Microsoft doing? Do you understand? I was like, which conference is Microsoft doing that? That who is that? Sorry, there's somebody. Your name is not showing. Please, admin. I think we should mute this 9YUOW person. Still making a lot of noise. And please also confirm that the person is actually supposed. Okay, great. Okay, it's muted. Okay, so as I was saying, I got to the office and they were saying Microsoft events, Microsoft events. So I was like, what's Microsoft doing? And I said that Microsoft is hosting a lot of health workers to a meeting, to like a conference. I was like, what's that now? That they should have added my name there. Why am I not there? They were like, that they didn't know I'll be back from Enugu. So I said, I want to be there. Are you following me now? And then they added my name to the meeting. And then I went into that meeting. Now, guess what was happening? Microsoft was asking the people in healthcare, what are the problems that you have in healthcare? And how can we solve those problems with technology? Are you guys hearing what I'm trying to say? They said that what are the problems you are having in healthcare? Please, if you can hear me, just drop a message on the chat box so that I can be sure that people are hearing me. So they were asking that, what are the challenges you have in healthcare? What are the challenges you have? And guess what? They were recording the event. Everybody was saying their challenge. Maybe they thought Microsoft was going to give them money. Everybody was saying their challenge and saying their challenge. I just decoded it, that there are problems in healthcare that they will use tech to solve. Do you know that right now, for example, see our biomedical science field, you can take your blood sample here And they will run this thing with technology, with some machines. And guess what? Your report, the result of your test will show on a computer screen, Abi. Do you know that computer screen, somebody designed that interface? That person that designed it is called a UI UX designer. He's a user experience designer. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But if you already are a UI UX designer, for example, or a product manager, for example, and then an organization wants to do that, if you know your job, and please, I'm emphasizing that if you are good at what you do, not that you come and be crying and say they should hire you because you are a child of God. No, that's why in my bio, you heard them say that I believe that there's nothing God cannot do, but you have to be willing to pay the price first. If you are willing to pay the price, God can take you anywhere. Doors open to you that, in fact, now you go the wrong commode for job. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there's somebody that will design that interface. Look at this Zoom platform that we're using now. Do you know that, forget the tech, somebody designed this interface? So I do graphics design. I love designing. But I know that UI UX is another level of design. It's not graphics design. So I went to learn UI UX. Do you understand? So that when Microsoft wants to develop their product to find solution to healthcare problem, they will need somebody that speaks the healthcare language. Boom, my name comes up on the radar, because on my LinkedIn profile, I've already sold myself very well that I'm the best guy for the job as long as it has to do with healthcare tech. Am I making sense to somebody? Do you guys hear what I'm trying to say now? So on LinkedIn, because I already went to learn UI UX and I know that I practice healthcare communications, I've gone to LinkedIn and I've said, I'm your go-to person for healthcare communications. So if you want to design an interface, or you have an event, or you want to provide a solution, or you need somebody to do your digital marketing, or you need this and this and this and this, please call me. This is my contact. These are the jobs I've done before. Then I go to my LinkedIn article section and I write a beautiful story about the work I'm doing. And I say, oh, in January, I was opportunity to have a meeting with the director of communications for Federal Ministry of Health, or I work with the head of NTDs for Federal Ministry of Health. His name is Oluwole Afolayan. And then we discuss about this. And then we now design these reports for them. And I did these infographics for them and everything. I'm open to UI UX roles. I'm open to product design roles, product management roles, and project management roles. Let's talk. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you sell yourself very well because you have the skill. Don't forget that you have to have the skill, So that is a practical example. So now Microsoft wants to develop products. Microsoft cannot develop that product from thin air. There has to be somebody who is good already in designs. There has to be somebody who is good already in coding. If you are a developer, for example, and you have very good healthcare knowledge, you are a better person to develop healthcare products that are tech-based than a regular healthcare guy who has no knowledge on what paracetamol can do. You did pharmacology, you did anatomy, you understand what the gluteus maximus muscle is, you know what pectoralis major is, you know all the bones in the body, all the innervation, you know your innervations, you know where the nerve arises from and where it ends. You can explain this. Now you can code. You can do all of this with nice codes, with nice designs, with nice interfaces that nobody will be able to say you are an Olodo. So this, I hope this has answered your question about how about being practical with your skills. First of all, let me just break it down to 3 points. First of all, know your onions. Be very sure of what you want to do with your life. For me, for example, it took me 8 years to know what I want to do with my life. But now that I know, you cannot just come and tell me I don't know what I know. Oga, you are joking, because I know what I know. It took me 8 years to know this, so I'm very sure. That's number one. Number two, know your onions very well. Know the skill. Be very good in media and communications. I have friends that recommend me for jobs. Some friends even recommend me for other jobs that are not healthcare. They tell me that somebody want to do birthday, I should come and do photography. I'm like, leave me alone, because they know I'm a good photographer. I have my own gadgets. I've invested in buying my own gadgets. Do you understand? I have my own stuff, so I know what I'm doing. That's number two. Number three is that sell yourself very well. Go on LinkedIn, go to where your potential clients are. If you are somebody like me that runs your own business, but if you want to work with organizations, go to where your potential employers are. Look for where are they going to speak? Is your potential employer going to speak at a conference? Join that conference online, drop questions, ask them direct questions. Do you understand? Or join that conference, look at your potential employers or your potential clients, write down their names, go on LinkedIn, check them, look for their email addresses, send them a cold mail, send them samples of your work, and then as a child of God, you can now trust God that God will support your work with his own omnipotence, and he'll take you to where he has plans for you to reach. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I believe I've answered even more than what I was asked. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nikon. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, boss. You're welcome. TJ Sunimi, please go ahead.
I think she's having issue with audio voicing. I've been trying to check through for her. Okay.
So yeah, I'm joined.
Okay, so you're welcome.
Just name me. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Let me quickly help her out with that immediately so that we will not spend much time here as we wait for her. So I believe Ms. Kalechi is on board. Are you with us?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like you to take the floor now so that we just have you quickly, then we can move to question and answer all together. Thank you so much. You have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know. I think I may prefer the question that I. What do you think? I'm so sorry I wasn't able to join earlier. That was because I had a patient. Sorry about that. And who came in late. So my topic is to talk about the career opportunities in biomedical sciences. Yeah. So I was thinking if it's possible to join the question and answer section. I don't know. What do you think? Where people could ask me questions or maybe problems or things that they may be finding difficult to, and then I will come in from there.
Okay, you could just share your experience, maybe just in 5 minutes, what your background look like, what you currently do, and that might provide the necessary context for whoever may want to seek clarification in your area of specialty, and that would be my suggestion. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm Kelechi, with a background in physiology. I think the second set of graduates from UNIZIC physiology department, and then after school, I got back to UNIZIC again physiology department as a staff. So before I was able to travel for my master's and then working and all of that. And then by God's grace, the founder of Biomedical Physiology, Nigeria. Okay, so I don't know. That's a brief overview about my background. And I would say maybe, okay, I'm specialized in clinical neurophysiology, currently expanding into neuroimaging at the moment. And what I could say is that there are, like I keep saying it, that neurophysiology or clinical neurophysiology is still a very virgin area. Neurodiagnosis, generally as it is quite virgin and holds lots of opportunities. I, for one, I noticed that, here in the UK, we're still very well short-staffed, and so many opportunities still are still very much available for clinical neurophysiologists. And there are a lot that is that is in store both in Nigeria and beyond. But then the issue that I've noticed over time is that just like I wasn't sorry, I wasn't early when the last speaker was talking, but I could tell I heard a few things that he said talking about you getting the skills in line with the area you want to venture. Honestly, I think this could be the place that may not we may be lacking in a way. Like I've noticed that a couple of us do not really have the skills in line with the area we really want to venture. Or even if we do, most times we are neck bent on just gathering certificates and all of that, as good as they are. Knowing, advancing in it, knowing it, like if you're given a patient to handle, you know how to run some of these procedures, and then not just running it, making proper and detailed explanations about it and possible diagnosis and inference from it is actually the key towards becoming a clinical neurophysiologist. So, like I said, I think this is just like a short overview. Questions, I would prefer if questions are coming in line with that, and then that would help give us a better direction to go. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kalechi. So if you have questions, please just you can do it by showing of hands. Then we can just have you. So I can see every one of us. So if you have a question. Okay, so I think I will take the lead as I wait for others to come on board. Thank you so much for sharing your short story with us. I know that in that story there is a lot inside it. Okay, so for an undergraduate, what should I be doing at this particular time that I'm in school that will make me to thrive tomorrow as a biomedical scientist? And I don't want to look into other space. So if you will like to share your mind with us on that, I will appreciate. Thank you, Ms. Kelechi. I hope you understand my question.
Yeah, as an undergraduate, what
Yeah.
if I got that correctly, as an undergraduate, what you could likely be doing
Yeah,
that would
presently.
like align you well in line with that? Okay, yeah, I would say that my background, I actually started whatever venture I am currently doing back then as an undergraduate. So as an undergraduate, I actually went for some clinical trainings in different hospitals. As at that time, we didn't even have a lead on IT or any of sorts. So on my own, I met some of my lecturers who were very well helpful to me. They really helped to give me some letters and some signatories to whatever venture that I went. So I had to travel all the way to some places to gain some clinical experiences, still in line with the neurophysiology. So I would recommend or I would advise that as an undergraduate, the first thing is for you to perfectly be able to define the area you really want to venture into, because physiology as it is very vast, and the same with anatomy and other biomedical sciences. So I think the very first step is for you to discover the particular part you want to tour. And when you've discovered that, you may begin to read extensively on that first before you make a venture into the clinical experience. You may want to expose yourself to some trainings or some readings, read up literatures, read up a lot about it, so that when you go for the training, you'll be able to defend yourself. Like when you're trying to make an application for a training, you'll be able to say, okay, this is how much I've known about this is how much I've known about this disorder or about this particular condition or this and that. And then I want to learn more, something like that. So because one thing I've noticed about life is that for you to be able to get whatever you want, it depends on how you sell yourself, on how much you know about it and how much you're able to present yourself. So after you've known it, then the next thing is for you to, go all out, present yourself, like look out for facilities that offer some of this, maybe attachments, clinical attachment, clinical postings. And it will not be easy for those facilities to accept you, except you're able to prove to them that this is what you can do and this is what you can be able to offer. This is your relevance in this particular facility. That in this short period of time, you'll be able to. They won't just gain from you. You will also get. You won't just gain from them. They will also gain from you. Something like that. So I think that's more like a rundown on it.
Okay, thank you so much. I think as you are just speaking now, I begin to think about some things for us in the undergraduate section. We don't have access to most of these things you are talking about. Most of the time, it's just about reading, trying to have good grade and make sure that you are just a good student. So I don't know if there is a space, or how do you advise us to fashion this into what we are doing presently? If you really remember how it is, I don't know about so many other schools, but for the few, for us, it's challenging having to put other things into what you are doing presently. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't think I got that question very well. Like, sorry, please, can you come again with the question? I believe the platform is for Unizik students, right? If I'm not making a mistake, am I correct?
Yes, it is organized by Unizik. It's organized by Unizik students, but then we have other students from other schools too.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So please, can you rephrase your question so I'll be able to understand better?
I think that he was trying to say that so while people are while we are for everyone who is in undergraduate, that most times the first point of call is read, pass your exams, just kill this hurdle first, then you can know what's next and all that. So how do you advise that a person can begin to lay down the ropes for a successful career, especially in your field?
I understand. Now I understand. So the thing is, you knowing what you really want. Honestly, a couple of times when I say it, it sounds as though I really do not understand the place of money or whatever. But the thing is, there are so many things if you could check yourself very well as a student, you notice that there are so many frivolities you invest in, or there are so many frivolities you invest your time in that, will I say, I call it frivolity because it may not really be frivolity as it is, but in the meantime, it is actually. Because to me, whatever that takes your time, that is not part of your core values at that particular point in time, I personally term it a frivolity. So, in as much as I understand that the timing for as a student or as an undergraduate is kind of choked up, but the truth is that we still have that time if we deem it fit to create it. So I think most times we are accustomed with this habit of let me just read and then pass my exams and get good grades, which is very nice. In addition to passing your exams or reading to pass your exams, please, it's very important for you to read the relevant things that you need for your future venture, which is very much important. Okay, so and which boils down to your time management, which boils down to like trimming your time in very well, trimming your activities to be able to fit in the right things that you need per time. Every other frivolity I keep saying will come much later when you must have gotten to a particular point in time. But for now, I think this should be a season of sowing. So, and if it's a season of sowing, then you have to like cut down on some frivolities and make out time to not just read, okay, fine, this is time for me to read and pass this exam. In addition to this, I want to read maybe you want to tour a particular path in life, get textbooks, get materials that is in line with that path, begin to read them in addition to your normal subjects that you read and then pass the exam. You need to read and read, make notes. Like most times, like while I was in school, I had a covered notebook that was my personal reading notebook. It wasn't what they were taught in what I was taught in class or whatever. So be deliberate about it. So get a notebook, read, write down things, reach out to people. I tell people, try to have a mentor. What if there is one thing that has helped me in life is the fact that I had mentors, like people I was loyal to, people that I saw that they were very much advanced in this field, and like I have a lot to learn from them. I actually went to them. I made it kind of, will I say, official. Like, please, I really want you to mentor me, and I subjected to their mentorship, and that really really helped me. So I mean, one person wasn't mentor you in every aspect of your life. Maybe in a particular aspect, okay, this is my mentor in this particular career or this particular field. This is my mentor in this particular aspect of my life, things like that. It kind of helps to reshape you or something like that, or helps to give you better direction and all. So I think, let me pause here again.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kelechi, for that response. It's going a long way for so many of us here. Okay, so if you have a question and you still want to ask, please, you can just raise your hands. Let's have you on board. And if you cannot, you can just type so that we have that. So as I ask the next question, I will hope to see your question very soon before this time for this section round off. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Kelechi. So another question I want to ask for people that are not going to research into field of study like yours and they want to pick other things up, what are the other things they can pick up in the field of biomedical sciences that will aid them in actually achieving their own career goal? I hope you understand that question clearly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. If there is one thing I would recommend, okay, first is we have the clinicals, which everybody knows about. And then for the clinicals, we have different aspects of it, right? Then apart from the clinicals, we have the research, which I believe everybody still knows about. But there is this area that you may want to venture into that will really, really pay you well, or really, really help you to make a lot of impact, and it's still virgin. And that is the digital, will I call it programming or whatever, for instance. Okay, analysis, data analysis. So for instance, in research, apart from people that really do the pure research, there are people that analyze some of these results. So most times, for instance, here in the UK, almost everything we do here is actually rooted in data analysis, which actually gave me real times of time, like initially and all of that. So that may actually be a venture that one would want to go into, like the use of MATLAB, SPM, some of this programming, not just your normal SPSS or R, but we go into like real-time medical or medical software, medical programming stuff like MATLAB and the rest of it. And then another thing again is we have media marketing. This is another venture. People that go, it's actually a full-fledged profession where as a biomedical scientist, you are a media marketer. So when you can actually help hospitals, companies, and all of that. So it's not just saying it that you're a media marketer. The point is, are you good in content creating?
Sorry, I can't hear you well. Please come again.
Okay.
You said media marketers. Please come again.
Media marketing. So, and I said, it's not just saying I'm a media marketer. The point is, you ask yourself, how good is my content? Like, you have to be innovative.
This network is so good.
I think it's your network, sir. Our network is, we can hear her clearly. Miss Kelechi,
Okay,
we
can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Yes,
Yes,
we
you
can
Okay.
can.
hear you. We can hear you, ma.
Okay.
I can hear
I
you.
said it's about your content. Sorry, I'm talking quietly because my next patient is here, really. So I need to like round up. Okay, so media marketing is about you knowing your honors, like the last speaker said, and again about you understanding having a content or a concept. There's this thing, okay, for instance, I know there was a time I had an opportunity of recruiting someone that would be a media organizer for a particular firm. Honestly, in that recruitment exercise, I was highly disappointed because you notice that a lot of people, okay, they will say, I'm applying for this particular position, I can do the media, whatever. It's not just Facebook, it's not just coming to say, okay, we are doing this on Facebook or LinkedIn or what. No, like we need to understand the kind of content you have. Like, what can you be able to create, innovate something, and be able to in line with what the company or what the facility stand for. So something like that. So develop yourself in line with that. Be someone that would in biomedical sciences or in medical sciences, what can you create out of it? For instance, let me talk about neuro. There are some ventures that I started doing recently. I will notice that, I mean, it involves a lot of content, like you need to create content out of it. And please, let me tell you, most times don't wait for there is something that has pushed me in life. Don't wait for opportunities, go for opportunities. Most of my ventures or most of the work that I do currently here, there was no advert anywhere. I went for it. So please let this not leave your mind. But you can't go for it if you're not confident as to the kind of innovations you could bring to the table or the kind of content you could bring to the table. So, I mean, there are a whole lot, honestly, there are a whole lot, but which time may not really permit me to. Maybe as to keep the questions coming, we could try to fix it. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Guys, don't forget that last point. Don't wait for opportunity. You have to go for it in this space. In any space you find yourself, if you really want to go far. Yeah, somebody just asked a question. I think maybe that would be our second to the last question. Ms. Kelechi, uh, she said, Ma, all are data consuming. Any solution for an undergraduate? I don't understand what you are trying to say, America, Annabelle. So if you could use the mic, we appreciate that. Is that fine by you, or you want to retype? I'm waiting for you. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
And what
afternoon.
I
You have the
what
floor.
I meant was that she mentioned about digital marketing. She mentioned about all this media stuff. So I'm not like I'm still an undergraduate. So is there any like hope since all I need to have data to get access to all those things?
Okay. Thank you so much. Ms. Kelechi, do you understand how do I rephrase the question?
Hello? Sorry, I stepped out to meet my patients. Please, can you ask the question again? Manager?
Okay, Annabelle is trying to ask that for them in undergraduate, these things consume a lot of data. How will they be able to manage it with the current state they are and having to learn all these skills that you just mentioned just now?
I don't know what the suggestions could be, but the thing is, if you're really interested in going far in life, it depends on what you want in life. If you really want to go far in life, then it's will cost you a lot. I don't want to begin to narrate my own stories and hurdles, but it really costs you a lot. And that was why the notice I talked about frivolities earlier. There are some things you may be spending on, which you may want to curtail, to be able to focus on what I would say about it. Expenditure. Trust me, no matter the kind of background you're coming from, you'll be able to make something huge out of your life. If you learn to define frivolity as, I mean, what I may have defined it to be, that would really help you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kelechi, for your time this afternoon. We really appreciate you for those
No
insightful
worries.
responses we have.
I'm
I
so
think
glad.
it's a
I'm
very
so glad.
wonderful time. Yeah, thank you so much. So on next, we quickly move to our next speaker for this afternoon. So, earlier when we started this program today, you can, let me see your flower. Say thank you to Miss Kelechi. Let's see your flower. Let it rise. Let it rise. Okay, thank you, everyone. It has been an awesome time this afternoon. Lots of insight. One thing that will stay with me is don't wait for opportunity. Make sure you go for it. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to move on right to the next speaker. We are having a panel section. We have our own savior already waiting to be called upon, and we have Emeka too. They are waiting for us to have them. Okay, so we are going to be starting with the first panel speaker today. That is Mr. Savior from Russia. He's going to be sharing his experience with the topic. He's going to introduce the topic by himself, what he has already been sent to discuss with us. And I know that it's going to be another mind-blowing section. Okay, so can I see your flowers? Welcome, Mr. Savior, as we'll be discussing scholarship opportunities in biomedical science. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Savior, for coming this afternoon. The floor is yours now on the mic. Thank you.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, though it's somehow low, but it's fine.
Oh.
We can hear you. You're welcome.
Your voice is very low, please.
Sorry, trying to clear voice. All right. So I would like to share my slide. Good day, everyone. My name is Xavier. Gabriel, please let me share slide.
Okay, just a minute.
All right. So already introduced I'll just
you can do that now, sir.
Okay, yeah, I'll be taking a how to assess scholarship opportunities individually to medical sciences. So we put this here for a second. So yeah, okay, so I will be considering just a few slides. So what's biomedical science, opportunities, how do you get ready for them? And before you would apply while you're still a student, what are the things you need to constantly engage yourself with? And then we'll look at the section. So what is biomedical science? Biomedical sciences include those science disciplines whose primary focus is the biology of human health and disease, and it ranges from the generic study of biomedical sciences and human biology to more specialized subjects such as pharmacology, human physiology, human nutrition.
Sorry, it's hard to hear you. You might need to either move the speaker close to your mouth or you speak more audibly. Thank you.
Let me disable this. I'm using an earpod, I guess that's what.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Loud
sir, we
and clear
can
now.
hear you
We
now.
can hear you
Loud
clearly.
and clear.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you clearly now.
Oh, sorry. I was using a Paco airport. That's why. Sorry. Okay, so let me start the slide again. Okay, so I was saying that biomedical science is everything around genetics, human physiology, pharmacology, human nutrition, anatomy, whatever you call it. So when you're into biomedical science, you'll be measuring in things like biomedical functions, physiological functions, anatomical and histological structures, pharmacology, epidemiology. Epidemiology simply means it's more like the study of how disease spread in a population. So let's look at, sorry, why is my slide jumping? Okay. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so what are the career paths in biomedical science? We have bioinformatics, which luckily we have one of us in NAGBAMS, in Simesbaf, who is an expert in that area. So bioinformatics is the science that combines computer science, mathematics, engineering, statistics to understand and interpret biological information. And also in biomedical science, one of the career paths is biomedical engineering. Now in biomedical engineering, you're applying engineering principles and materials to medicine and healthcare. And one other area is biotechnology, which harnesses the cellular and biomolecular processes to develop technologies and products that help improve our lives and the health of our population. We also have biomedical research. So these are a group of people that focus on how to develop more like new drugs, new treatment options in order to improve health outcome. You also have environmental engineer. There's precision medicine, which is one of the newest ones. So precision medicine is an aspect of biomedical science or medicine that uses information about a person's own gene or their protein to prevent